legitimately great. The second movie has its problems, but it's still pretty good. Though the best part of that is I got a Vigo painting. I got a poster of it, and my friend put it up in their child's bedroom.
Oh, damn.
So it's still there. Like their kid is now a little over 2 years old, and the Vigo painting is still in their kid's room. And it's great because every once in a while they'll post a picture, and people will be like, "Wait, is that Vigo?"
That child is going to grow up
Yes,
with no problems whatsoever.
There is no child, only Zoom.
Yes.
So that's my dark confession of the day.
Well, I highly recommend the original.
Yeah, I'll see it someday. I know I should.
Like it's from the 80s, and it's one of those like, yes, it's funny, but it's also still a fairly serious. It treats the subject matter seriously, with at least one person who's not very serious about things. Like there's goofiness aspects to it, but there's also like
Ghostbusters,
a pretty
the
strong
most capitalist
base.
movie ever created.
Oh boy.
Think about it. It's about four guys who prove the fact that there is in fact an afterlife and immediately try to monetize it.
Yeah, good point. I
The
should
good
get
portion
my...
of the movie is
Well,
about
you
them, hiring new employees, finding a location, advertising, establishing the brand.
No, I actually want to do like a video that in favor of Peck, the EPA guy.
Oh, yeah, like, there was...
Because he's not wrong. And he's actually totally, like, the moment where he's like, well, I want to know what you do. Like, what goes on down here? But can I see the power grid or whatever? Like, you didn't say the magic word. And he looks pissed off. Like, what is the magic word? And when he goes, please, he laughs and he relaxes. You're like, okay. He's like, I see what kind of guy you are, and I'm actually totally cool with that. And then Venkman decides to basically say fuck you.
Yeah, but Venkman says fuck you to everyone.
Yeah, but the thing was, that guy actually, like they basically had a nuclear reactor in the middle of New York City. Like, he's like, this seems extremely dangerous. I'm like, I can't blame him. And he was totally cool until Venkman was a dick. Anyway. All right, want to have a recap of last session?
I had a bad trip with a drag queen, and now we're
You
in...
ruined her for life.
I did ruin her life. And now we are in middle of nowhere, Illinois, at a haunted hotel, trying to follow my weird bad trip dream.
There was like a
And
door
also-
that led to nowhere that we haven't opened yet.
And also, there's the opposite of a person who's with the opposite of a door, and they showed up in the mirror for Max.
They might be coming to kill one or more of us.
I think that covers all the bases.
All right. So as I recall, the two, like, I think was Rocky
No,
still out in the car at this
no,
point?
we're all in the room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you brought her in. Like, there's a door that apparently
Yeah.
wasn't there, because Mr. Valentine was sort of like, oh yeah, that's really weird. Like, no, we want the room with the door that wasn't there.
Then Max and Roxy were like, open it.
Max slowly humming The Man Who Sold the World.
Roxy's looking at art at this point. She's like, you gonna open it?
Yeah, I'll open it. I open it.
Okay, you open it up. Not quite sure what you're expecting to see. As it opens up, there is there's a hallway that goes on. It looks like a featureless white paint. You see a couple places where there's some chips in the paint, like it's been peeling, but it hasn't been particularly not exposed to the elements. So bits of that's just happening slowly, where some of the paint is starting to come off. There's no lighting fixtures that you can see. It's fairly dark. There's no windows, and at the end, which you're gonna get, it's a fairly long, like if you imagine like a fairly decent sized hotel hallway, like it's that length, and it looks like there's steps going down on the far end.
Are there doors branching off to the sides of the walls?
There's actually none. Like it's just nothing seems to move. I mean, unless something is somehow perfectly flat into the wall, there's nothing you can see as far as any doorways. It just continues down until it reaches
Roxy
the
takes
steps.
a picture. It's neat.
Max has already broken out the Ghostbusters EKG meter.
What the hell is that thing?
If you see Ghostbusters,
I
you
think-
would know.
So here's the reality. Now I'm playing a character who has absolutely seen Ghostbusters, and I've absolutely not seen Ghostbusters.
Your character might have just missed Ghostbusters. It might
No,
have been
he
just...
saw Ghostbusters.
Oh,
This is a
I'm sure.
KE meter.
You got a Ghostbusters toy.
basically it's like
Just
a little
looks offended and hurt.
affects ghosts.
Is it? Okay, sure. Let's. Are you like Bill Murray now? Like, is that the bit now?
I haven't put on a bit. We don't need it. But
First of all, Ray had the EKD meter.
Excuse me, princess.
Also, if you've never played the Ghostbusters role-playing game, it's fantastic. It was done in like 1984 or 5, and it's definitely like it's pretty far ahead of its time because there's a lot of the stuff that's in there would be considered much more normal by today's standards of role-playing games, of like indie games.
you always find the weird examples of odd things. I'll tell you a story about weird board games I uncovered at the Half Price Books later, but for right now, we have to go ghost hunting.
Okay.
Let's go.
So is this like the portal that we went through before? Roxy's just looking at the other two.
I mean, it's magic, but probably controlled by ghosts.
Yeah, it doesn't have the whole glowy like touch the thing and everything is very clearly a portal of some sort. This is just, it would be a weird hallway to have in a house because there's a lot of wasted space there. But it just appears to be a hallway, no windows. I put a picture of the EKG meter.
Oh my god.
And the little arms come up and it goes.
Oh yeah, it spins, right?
It doesn't spin.
Damn it.
I'm not even sure what movie you're thinking of.
I don't even know why we're
Does it
playing
spin
with
in
you
the
if you
new
don't know
one? Does it spin in the
Ghostbusters.
new one? Maybe it spins in the new one.
Right,
That's the new one.
Roxy's gonna take a hand-sized object and throw it through the door, like real hard,
What the fuck are you doing?
making sure that it doesn't like disintegrate when walking through or something.
And like you watch it, like it lands partway down the hallway and kind of skitters a little bit and bounces off the wall, and then it sits there
Well,
doing nothing.
I guess people would have heard that if people were there.
Yeah, good point. All right, let's keep going then.
Yeah, Max just keeps his gun and his PKG meter.
Okay, so 3 of you head in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the problem you're gonna have is it's gonna get dark because there's no windows.
What are phone lights for? Let's go.
Yeah. And there's a thing about lights on a phone and the kind of the weirdness of how that sort of brightness is like perfectly set for like a horror film. Just overall feeling. So as you head down, there is that moment where you're just sort of looking there, and like the light is very bright against some of the walls, but it also leaves a lot of shadow beyond it. But yeah, you head in. You're walking down the hall, and at this point, you get to a point where you're pretty sure you'd be outside of the house. Like, because the house itself was not as long as this corridor seems to be. The steps go down. They go down about 2 stories, is what your guess is as you look down, and there is a very sort of like a heavy, ornate door set into the wall.
If we look back, we can see the other door, right? And it's open into the room.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you leave the door to the hallway open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean from the room that you would have been staying in.
Oh.
Like did you leave the room to the normal hallway open?
No, we closed our hotel.
I kind of like the idea of you just seeing the 2 guys like, the hell's going on? But no, they're not there.
Cool.
So what do you do?
Max is the expert. He goes first.
You've got the...
Yeah, Max is running the PKG up and down the door.
Yeah, it's just going boo. Like, are you is it just like a toy EKG meter, or does it actually do something?
If it is possible for me to make this an actual PKG meter, then I will do it.
It certainly sounds like you have to have some sort of a Cinemancer thing that allows that to happen.
I do not have an exact spell that turns props into real things.
I thought you absolutely did.
No, I have the ability.
You can turn a gun into like a real.
No. I have the ability to add. That's not a Cinemancer specific spell. That was me enchanting an object to do a particular effect. And adding sound effects to things is within my wheelhouse as a Cinemancer.
Check something real quick. That seems like the kind of thing a Cinemancer should be able to do.
I mean, I'll scan through my available spells, but I think it's one of those things. It falls into but like they have. Each one has a kind of domain of things that they should have access to.
I also think I'm looking at like I'm the guy with the gun, and it feels like a minor version, essentially, of that spell.
I'm the guy with.
That's a very specific one, but it seems like a yeah. Basically, we'll say with what you're doing is it's not a
enchantment, but
it's not a gigantic thing, but I think it can work except for have it'll be like I'm the guy with the gun except 1 minor charge instead of 3,
and I can just I can turn props into their approximate counterparts for the time, or make them operate like they should according to the movie.
Yeah, and I would say depending on what it is, like the more kind of the more it affects the world, the more it would cost. Like the gun lets you kind of fire continuously.
Yeah.
Without ever having to reload, is like the movies. You're taking an iconic thing that the entire world
knows how,
except for one person, the entire world except for one of us knows how it works. Like most people, if you just had one in your hand, they'd be like, "Oh, is that the thing from Ghostbusters?"
Yeah.
See, I think for 1 minor charge, you actually can use.
Yeah, then I'll run a charge through it and turn it into a real PKG meter.
Yeah, so the arms kind of, and you hold it in front of the door, and it's like, and it's like it's lighting up, and it's making kind of the buzzing noise.
Roxy grabs onto like Art's arm. She's spooked.
Hey, Art.
Yeah.
Do you still have those dick cupcakes?
Do I?
Max removes in 2 incredibly squashed dick cupcakes from a plastic Ziploc bag.
No, I don't think he does. It's the thing, right? Like, I don't think he does. No.
Like,
I accidentally hit
would have
mute.
thrown
Sorry,
them
guys.
away.
Yeah,
At which
they're
point-
gross. I don't think you have like.
At which point,
However, Max is a giant paranoid nutcase.
guys, at which point we started talking about you hear just this. You hear a bounce. Dum,
Roxy jumps real hard.
dum, 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 and like a red ball, like one of those you'd find in a PE class, bounces its way down the steps.
Guys, I think I won out.
No play makes
I think
Jack
I
a
won out.
dull boy.
Guys, I have a good career ahead of me. I won out.
Yeah, Max draws his gun and keeps the PKG meter in the other hand and starts like waving it towards the ball.
And a very young voice. Hey, I don't know you.
I don't know you either.
You look up and there's a kid who he's dressed like something from like the 1950s. Is looking down at you and kind of head cocked a little oddly as he's looking over the three of you.
Can Max move to toss the ball back up the stairs to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Max is gonna temporarily set the gun back to his side. And like he's gonna keep the PKG meter because this thing is great. But he's gonna like underhand the ball back to the kid.
Yeah, as it kind of goes up, he catches it. It kind of bounces it a time or two. Did she call you?
The old lady?
Mm-hmm.
We saw her. She seemed to open the door for us. What the hell was that?
Sounded like a door.
This is it's the door behind us, isn't it?
Yeah, Max turns around slowly because he knows the door is already closed.
Well, the door that you're right near is still closed.
Yeah.
You'd have to go back up the steps to see the other one, but
Wait,
the little bit of light that was coming down the hallway from the room that you had been in before is no longer coming down.
Wait, did the kid somehow appear on the steps behind us?
Yes.
Okay, then. That is
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was not
significantly
specific
creepier.
about that. Yeah. So he's kind of like looking down at you. We haven't had someone new since she came over permanently.
Bro, you're fucking taking him.
No, we don't have many.
Can you do you mind keeping that door open?
He kind of like looks behind him. There's not a door, just the end of the hall.
Uh-huh. I guess can we talk to her?
It kind of like he goes real quiet and kind of big eyes, and it's weird because like the shadows you're throwing over him with the cell phone thing is pretty intense. He goes, I don't like talking to her.
Why not?
Well,
And I crouch down so like I'm eye level with him, and I'm like speaking more soft. It's like, hey, why don't you like talking to her?
She was nice at first, but she's been angry ever since she moved in here permanently.
How long ago was that?
I don't know.
You always been here?
And you hear from behind like
Uh-huh.
something on a door, and he turns. He's like, "Oh, I better go." And he runs back up the last few steps, and then down the hall, and you hear a door open, and then shut.
Uh-huh.
Guys, we're gonna get fucking eaten or something.
You can leave if you want to, but I don't.
No, because
this
it's
is
gonna
bad,
go
this is
there,
bad.
and it's gonna lead somewhere different, and it's gonna lead like into like I don't know, a fucking crocodile's mouth or something. No, I can't. No, I'm staying with you guys.
That's good. That's good. Splitting up is bad. Like, as soon as that phrase exits Max's mouth. You two pick a door. I'm gonna go upstairs.
Nope, Max, no. Not this time, Max, nope.
I was willing to bet money. I'm like, I know that'll happen. I won't even have to say a thing. He's gonna realize at some point he has to split up from them.
Max, no, I'm not letting you do this, Max. I'm just not. No.
If you do, give us one of the cakes. Give me the one of the cakes.
Yeah, like he passes the cakes over.
I guess I'll take one too.
Right, yeah, Roxy like clutches the bag.
I'm just gonna assume that Max only has his 2 tuxedo cupcakes. Like, that's it. He either consume, slowly like discard them over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Max, you're not splitting up. You literally just said it was a bad idea, and I know you get a kick off it, but not this time. No.
No, like, so you're like, okay, you see this fun thing I'm doing right here? He points to the PKG meter.
And you see the thing
is,
where
any direction you point it in, it makes the same noise.
This is bound to be useful at some point. And this is magic. If I don't walk off right now, I have nothing.
if you walk off now by yourself without either of us there and something bad happens, then all you have is yourself.
At least I'll have magic.
Fuck you too, kid. Don't die.
Don't worry.
Fuck you for using your magic.
I wonder if I sing it'll stop. It will stop the ghosts.
I don't. The kid. Okay, here's how I'm seeing it. The kids, like, they live here, right? And then the old lady moved in, and she's a jerk, right? Like, that's the sitch. Like,
Something like that.
yeah. So, I don't think the kids are a problem. If anything, I think the kids can help us. But the ladies who knows where we need to go or what we need. So she has the information. All right. So Max is left right now, right? Like, he's gone.
Like, Max is gonna go in the general direction the kid left in. Like, if he can...
Well, so it sounds like you're going to go up the stairs. That would be going past Art, because Art went up to talk to the kid. And the kid was at the top of the stairs when you were at the bottom in front of that big door.
Like, the big door is too obvious. The protagonists get to go in the big door.
Yeah, so if you walk up past him and then look down, like the hallway now stretches not quite as far as before, but still fairly far. And you see there's a number of doors off of either side. And there's a window a bit further down in it that you can like kind of hear a storm coming from.
Max is just kind of sweeping with the PKG meter, looking for where the movie needs him to go next.
Everywhere you sweep it, the whole thing is like no matter what direction you point, it's going crazy.
Max folds it down and puts it in his belt. Handles the gun again, even knowing that this thing is complete bullshit and won't even work against ghosts, let alone he won't work against regular people, let alone ghosts.
Well, you see dick bullets, obviously.
If someone walks in, like, well, you kept talking about dick bullets. It's very weird.
Go back to sleep, ghost grandma.
Yeah, then I guess if Max is like insisting on splitting up, Art like sighs, goes down the stairs, and like is like standing before the very big door. It's like, damn, it's a big door.
What? Was something banging on the door specifically earlier?
It was actually up in a door or something up in that hallway. You're not exactly sure where, but like the kid heard something, decided to run.
Okay, so the bad noises were coming from the other end, where
The end where Max is going.
Where Max is going. So Max is dead already. Let's go through this door.
Hold on a second. I'm
So-
like, I just want to look at the door. Like you said, it's really ornate.
Mhm.
Are you talking like Art Deco? Are we talking like engravings? Like
I mean, it's engravings, but not like of something specific, but just like the shapes and such on them. Like it almost reminds you of something you might see in like a Victorian manor house.
okay. And there's no other. It's either these doors back upstairs. Those are the two.
Yeah, for at least where you're at right now, you don't know what's on the opposite side of either of them.
Yeah, but those are like the two directions. All right.
Mhm.
Just want to like walk around the room a little bit. See if I notice any weird noises coming from like behind the walls anywhere.
Roxy's like
Sure.
almost against you as you walk, just like not leaving.
So there's the hallway, and then the steps go down to the door. So are you going down the hallway listening for things?
Well, that's where Max went. He went down the hallway.
Yeah, which is where
I
you
thought
came
that the
in
door
from.
was in like a sort of landing. It's just a door at the end of a stairs at the end of a hallway.
Yeah, basically like the stairs go down, and then just like basically just stairs down, and then there's a door.
Oh, okay.
It's weird because a door this nice and ornate is normally not set in a featureless hallway like this.
Yeah.
Like it looks like something you might normally see that leads into like a basement or a cellar or something. Like I mean, just the idea of going down those steps.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
But then again, most other places you'd have windows and such.
Yeah. Then Max went up. So I guess really quick, like I guess our like wait a tick, and then like go up the stairs and just take a peek to see if he sees Max.
Yeah. So Max, what as you're heading, you see a number of doorways on either side, and there's some windows. That occasionally, like you at this point, you can kind of hear the storm outside. Which there wasn't a storm a moment ago, but like lightning flash will sort of like light up a little bit of the hallway. Like, this place looks more lived in, a little more worn, more like people have been using it more. But there's a number of doors on either side. Doesn't go down as far as it did when you first entered.
Lovely. Level 6, Euclidean geometry goes out the window the minute something's haunted. Level 7, mood lighting is important. Waits for a lightning flash. Poses dramatically against a camera that's not actually there as half of his face lights up with the reversed shot of the window pane.
When it lights up, when the lightning strikes, there's like just a second you can see across from one of the windows. There's a door just a crack open, and you can see like just through the sliver like a child's face looking down. His eyes go kind of wide as the light hits him, and then you very faintly hear the door shut. And it's shut like he had cranked the handle over, so when it went in, you didn't have like the thick of it hitting. Like the kid's trying to be very, very quiet.
Max like kind of sidles up on the door and gives it a very quiet knock.
Make a notice test.
Oh, yay. Goody. I think I actually have something that subs for that. I do. It's Filmmaker.
Barely. Yeah, you kind of hear a, and then you hear like a small like door shut underneath there. You hear some shuffling on the other side, and then it's a little quieter behind the door than it was a moment before.
Kid. It's okay now. She's not here. Max just kind of slowly tries to push the door open.
Door opens up. There's a slight bit of give. You notice like when you open it up, there is like a chair has been placed in front of the door, but you're a grown ass adult. Just a slight push, just sort of skids it.
It hasn't actually been barred properly. They just put a chair in front of a door.
No, yeah, basically like because they're like if they're the same size as the other kid you saw, they're pretty little. So they're not going to be able to pick up something actually big enough to block the door, but they put it like in front, like it might have done something. And you got just like a slight bit of a push. Like it's almost not noticeable how much extra effort you have to put in to open the door. And the door itself is a room. It's like a bedroom, but it's a bedroom that doesn't have a kind of a ton of personality. There's 8 beds, 4 on each side, and there's like a one of those freestanding closet drawer, like wardrobe sort of things on the opposite side, and you see like some chest of drawers and such. And there's a window overlooking. Well, you can't see. You see like the tops of some trees outside of it, and then like it's lit up, and there's rain hitting it pretty hard.
I'm gonna put away the gun because this is not the situation that needs it, and also if it's a jump scare, the universe dictates that he's not holding the gun.
Unless he's gonna shoot someone he shouldn't.
Yeah. So I'm actually just gonna cut out that possibility altogether.
Okay. Yeah. So what do? You put away the gun,
And he's just gonna kind of start overlooking the room, moving towards the other end, just
all right.
keeping an eye out for like the normal places children would hide.
So Art and Roxy, yeah, you see him go into a doorway like midway down the hall, lit up like by the flash of lightning as he goes.
Okay,
in.
he's totally dead. We should go the other way.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, we can go in. There's other doors up there. We can go in other doors up there, or we can go down further. Which do you prefer?
Yeah, the one downstairs looks nicer, right?
It is a nicer door. It's as good a reason as any. Let's go. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna open that big door, that fancy door.
Roxy's like clutching like the bag of cake, just ready to like throw it or something.
Cake bag.
Oh my God.
You open up the door. I'm assuming kind of a little slowly and
Yeah.
carefully. Okay, yeah. And you sort of peek out, and as you open it, it would open in on this one. So you open it kind of in, and you peek out. You see that there is. It's lit up a little bit by lightning flashes of the storm. It opens onto a very large, like foyer area, and as you kind of pull back the door a little bit, you see that like the door itself is on like a landing that like two like sweeping staircases sort of meet on the ground floor a little bit in front of the doorway itself. It's like it's one of those that like either side has got like that half spiral that kind of comes down, and there's that big place that normally in like the films you see like a statue or something in the middle, but like it's got the doorway. Yeah, it's got the apparently the doorway you're at, and you can see there's some fairly large like glass doors ahead of you that go up at least 10-12 feet, is your guess. And they overlook like a fairly. You can see what looks like a hedge maze in the distance. Just a large yard with like bushes and such. There's a couple trees, and you see a bunch of like deck furniture. Kind of old timey out there. But beyond that, it's fairly dark except when it's lit up by the lightning flashes.
Yeah, is it like in the lightning flashes? Can we see like what sort of condition the furniture's in?
That stuff is outside, so it's a little hard to tell through the rain, but it looks okay.
All right.
Roxy's gonna try and GPS her phone, see if they find out where they are.
No signal.
No, fuck.
No Twitter this time, Roxy.
We are like in the 50s or something. This is not good. My music will not work in the 50s.
Actually, can I roll socialite to like try and get a sense of like the period decor this is?
Yeah, particularly once you sort of like look through, like you've seen houses like this. And this is a house of like old money.
Yeah.
As you sort of like emerge from it, you're not seeing anyone here in this area, but as you're sort of looking around, make a roll.
All right. That doesn't do it.
Yeah, you're not quite sure as you're looking around. I mean, it's hard to place. I mean, you were in a lot of places like this, but They all look so damn much alike. Remember to mark your socialite for that. They all look so damn much alike that you just end up sort of losing, like, you don't know what actually kind of goes where.
Yeah. All right. Well, onward and forward, right? Let's go. Yeah, I think like go up to the doors and like not opening them, but just like looking out into the rain, and like, is it just like cloudy, dark sky? Does it look like a normal rain cloud sky or a weird ghost sky?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's storming pretty hard, but it looks like a fairly normal storm from everything that you can see. Lightning lights it up every once in a while, and you can see there's a couple small small guest houses and such that are actually out in the backyard
Oh wow.
of this area. Like you're on a huge estate,
All right.
and yeah, Roxy, you're kind of looking around and you see that there's like a large dining hall off of one side, and on another side you can see maybe a library or something, and there is a little bit like a flickering light coming from not one of the rooms you can see, but it looks like one of the rooms that are off of it. Like you see some shadows being thrown on some bookshelves and desks and such.
Is there a phone anywhere?
Not right around here. You can search for one.
Cool. Yeah, just like peeking around, like seeing if there's like a landline or anything. Then she'll be like, "Oh my god, we're in the 90s, guys."
Yeah, are there electrical sockets?
Yeah, you start looking. You actually do see a few. You're not seeing much stuff. Like you're not really seeing anything that's plugged into them. At least not here. But you are seeing some sockets.
All right. So not like a super old ghost, I guess. I don't. Roxy, I've never been in a ghost realm before.
Oh, yeah.
Not since undergrad, at least.
Oh yeah, because I go to them all the fucking time. It's all the fucking rage around here. Like, look, it's a fucking party.
Anyway, maybe the library? You can see what books are there. Maybe that'll tell us something.
Yeah, let's try that.
All right, Max.
Is there anything in this weird ass bunk room?
Yeah, so as you sort of go, you hear from underneath a couple of the bunks, like a bit of a whimper that's very quickly. You almost hear a very light slap of skin, like someone has put their hand over someone else's mouth. Under the bunks, well, not the bunk. They're not in bunk beds, but underneath like the beds. But you can see out what looks like the front of it is kind of going out towards a large. You've got you can see a gate that might lead to a road, and there's a bunch of. It's got like one of those large drives that circles around a lot of like shrubbery and such that you come in. So like the actual view to the outer area is sort of cut off by all the trees and such, but you can see a large gate.
So it clearly doesn't look like the Cumble Inn that we came into.
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this. No, because Max wouldn't have taken the backpack, so I can't just start pulling out unnecessary items. Max, it's not the bed that they're on, but he kind of sits nearby, and he sets the gun down. He starts talking to himself, just like out loud. Man, I'm sure am lost in this big old house. Man, I was going to find my way out with my big, strong friends. But I just don't know my way around. I guess I'm...
You see rising up behind the bunk, one of the beds towards the front of the room, the kid that you saw in the hall earlier kind of stands up. He's clearly gotten up from like underneath one of the underneath the bed. You're new here. How did you get here?
We found a neat little door. We were going to stay at just a little hotel, but then... Well, we thought it was the bathroom, but it clearly isn't.
That's not how we got here.
How did you?
She.
She what?
He kind of turns a little pale. At that point, just she heard us and brought us here.
Does she have a name?
Veronica?
I'm trying to remember the name of the mere person that Max meant. That mere person that Max actually talked to. Isaac?
Mm-hmm. Or Jacob.
Jacob, that was it. It was biblical.
Jacob.
Yeah. He's gonna look at the kid and he goes, "Do you know anybody named Jacob?"
We don't have a Jacob here.
Okay. That solves that. I take it you're scared of Veronica?
She's nice sometimes, but ever since she came here permanently, she often forgets and gets very angry.
Would you let me help?
I don't know if you can.
Do you believe in magic, kid?
He kind of nods his head. He goes, "Because we're not. We're someplace that we're not in the regular world anymore."
You're very smart. You'd make a good mage yourself. Me, I'm just an okay wizard. My friends are really good.
The other two that you were with?
Mm-hmm. One of them can bring men wherever they want in the blink of their eye. The other, well, once they start singing, there's not a being alive that can look away. We're here
Kind
to...
of takes a moment.
We can help you if you'd like.
Yeah. She's downstairs usually at night. She doesn't sleep.
Is there anything else important in this house? Rooms you're not supposed to go into?
There's a room that's not always there.
You take me where it would be if it was?
Kind of nods his head.
Good boy.
We have to make sure she doesn't find us.
Trust me, if I've got the timing right, she should be a bit busy right now.
Okay, downstairs.
Because Max knows that the other two are probably going to walk straight into her. That's how this goes.
Yeah. So,
Not a sacrificial distraction.
are the two of
if the
you
plot calls for
are the
it.
two of you trying to sneak?
Um,
Trying to be quiet?
so you said that are we moving towards where we see the light coming off from that?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, sneak in.
Okay. If you want to go ahead and make it's a secrecy roll,
Secrecy.
or if you got something that would make sense to go with it, I'm gonna refill my drink while you do that, and I'll be
Let me
right.
run to the bathroom real quick, actually.
And I'm back. Whoa! What happened? Oh.
People have gone bathroom.
Okay. I accidentally made the window 30% of its size.
Yeah, back. I don't have anything that substitutes for secrecy, so. Alright. Let me try doing the actual.
Well, I definitely saw that Roxy does.
I think her delinquent does.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I? If I'm actually trying to do the fancy rolls, instead of just using my desktop character sheet, do I click the button next to like unnatural or?
That would be check against. Yeah, you just click your button or. No, I think you actually.
No. Towards the bottom, there's a thing that's got like fitness status, knowledge, connect, secrecy.
Oh, right. All right, so click secrecy.
Click the button to the right of secrecy.
I mean, the thing is, it would make perfect sense for your vagabond to
or drifter.
Well, it won't matter because
Drifter. Still didn't make it.
Do you want to make that a drifter roll instead?
Actually, I have drifter. The of course I can's are things that let you get around rolls, right?
Not necessarily around rolls. It means you can use it for those rolls.
Oh, okay. Because mine is
of
course I can slip away. Because mine is of course I can slip away from a dangerous situation before shit hits the fan.
That would also be being quiet and such. So, I mean, the thing is, you still would have.
Yeah, I still failed.
But that does let you put a check there for me.
Cool. I'll take the check.
So do I have to roll, or is that 96 gonna fuck us?
Why don't you go ahead and roll too? Because if you succeed, you might actually be able to secret yourself away if you wish.
Yeah, let Art take the fucking hit.
Yeah. Of course, also, if you want to make your delinquency check, because it's fairly low, you have a pretty good chance of failing and then raising your delinquency.
Nice. Hey.
Or
not, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So there's a moment where, like, as you're on your way there, you kind of hear like a rocking in the thing, and then Art, like, there's part like a board or something steps on, makes a loud kind of squeak, and then the rocking stops very quickly. Roxy, if you want to sort of disappear from Art's side and be somewhere hidden, and basically like duck out of the way very quickly, you can.
Like,
or if you want to stay,
I want to be like hiding behind the door.
Okay, yeah. So you basically, like, as you're kind of going in that library, you kind of plaster yourself to the side, and as it stops, the Art, you've kind of gone in, and there's like the library has got like really plush desks and everything else looks great, but a lot of it's hardwood floor. And there's a room that's sort of attached to it. It's one of those where it's got like, instead of a door, just like a large arch is not technically the right term, but you know, when you've got like the living room or something and the dining room like kind of connected, but they still look like two separate rooms.
A doorway?
Yeah, but a large doorway that kind of spans the whole thing. And the room on the other side is a bit bigger than the library. Like it goes deeper, but there's a large fireplace, and as you made that noise, the woman in the corner, you didn't quite see that she's on the opposite side, looks up and makes eye contact with you. She looks like she's in her 70s, at least. And kind of looks across and is squinting. You're not supposed to be down here. Not at night.
Is she the woman from my vision?
Yeah, remind me what happened in the vision.
Oh boy, so...
The old woman offered her gem heart to him.
Yeah, basically, I went to the kitchen.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's her.
Like, I'm sorry, I didn't actually know. I'm a little bit lost.
What? She, like, the moment she kind of puts on some glasses and looks, she's like, who are you? And she stands up. Like, she looks like little and frail, but moves pretty spryly. Kind of stands up and takes a step or two forward. You don't belong here.
You're telling...
Who are you?
My name's Art. What's your name?
Victoria. And then she looks over and she starts walking towards you.
Yeah, I like...
Or Veronica, rather, not Victoria.
Yeah, I like hold out my hand to shake her hand.
And when she grasps your hand, she kind of like... there's that moment where she's almost checking it if it's real. Then looks up at you. We haven't had anyone new here, and... What year is it?
technically we're in 2017 technically in our campaign, right?
Yeah.
2017.
I died in 1983.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2017. How did you get here?
Went in a door, and then I went in another door, and then I was here.
It kind of grabs you. It's like, what door? What door did you go through?
It was just in the hotel. It was just a door, and then there was a hallway, and then I went to a fancy door.
Yeah, then she eyes go kind of wide, and she turns and heads with like a surprising amount of force. It looks like she's gonna bash herself into the there's a large mirror along the wall. So she's gonna bash herself into it, but as she strikes the mirror, she actually enters into it. And then goes through, and as you that moment when you look in the mirror, you can actually see the living room of the actual house. And she sort of turns and then walks off to the side. And you can't see her anymore.
When you say the actual house, you mean the real life hotel?
Yes.
I'm going to try and gingerly draw out and touch the mirror.
It is mirrory as fuck.
I can't go through the mirror.
Nope.
Okay, I look around and I don't see Roxy. I'm like, Roxy, are you there? Roxy.
Did she go?
She went. She's back in. She's back in the actual hotel. She's gonna fuck shit up. This is bad. I think I shouldn't have told her that. I shouldn't have told her that. I was just trying to start dialogue, just trying to get her good.
Roxy, you can feel eyes on you from outside.
Oh fuck! No, people know we're here. People know we're here. Roxy peeks from out behind the door and then just rushes over to Art and just tries to hide behind Art.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you saw a shadowy figure in the rain outside as you sort of rushed, but there was someone there watching you.
Oh god!
Roxy. Now we can't panic now. We're going to walk upstairs. We're going to walk back upstairs, back up the door. We're going to go back into the hotel. Okay.
Roxy nods, just holding the bag, and as they walk, she's just holding the bag out towards the direction of the person who's watching.
Roxy, give me that.
What? No.
Dick cake. It saves lives.
Baby, want some dick cake, baby, this evening. What do you need to do?
Yeah, I'm going to walk at the glass door to where I see the shadowy figure.
What?
Okay.
I just walk towards them and wave.
Yeah, so you're kind of going towards it. You wave, and you see it. Hand kind of comes onto the window, and you see there's some of the flesh has been eaten away.
Yeah, okay, we're about to.
There's some sort of holes through it.
No.
And it grabs, and it starts jiggling the handle.
Okay.
To the outside door.
Roxy, run up now.
Nope. No.
Yeah, running up.
I need to hire a bodyguard.
Yeah, let's actually. This is something we actually probably check for everybody at first, but I think what is everyone's unnatural gauge?
Max has some points in this.
I have some as well.
Mine's half. It's halfway between both.
I've got
So 5?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Including the black dot, the initial
Yeah.
one, right? Then I'm at 4.
4, including the black dot.
Yep, 4 including the black dot.
Okay. So Roxy's at 5. Everyone else is at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're at 4, go ahead and make. Well, I would say for right now, just for downstairs. We'll do something with you in a minute, Max. Art, let's have you roll yourself. Or I'm sorry, wait, not that's attack this gauge with self. Oh wait, which one do you use to?
It says unnatural
resist?
versus self, and then it says self versus unnatural. So I think they do resist each other.
Yeah. So yeah, roll self to resist.
So I roll self versus unnatural, not unnatural versus self.
Basically, you should whatever the percentage of yourself is. Like even if you hit the wrong one, you can still check what your self
Okay.
percentage is.
And question: I have resist shock to self, but this is a shock to unnatural, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Your self is just like your sense of self is what.
Yeah.
makes you-
Oh, buddy.
Ooh.
Okay, well, make a mark a failed one there. You want to do fight or flight or freeze?
Flight.
Okay, Roxy, as Art kind of sees and like it's that last note, everything else has been so weird and so far beyond the things that you have dealt with. Like you're in another place. This is something that Roxy has not been in something like this before, but her connection to the supernatural kind of puts her in a place where at least this is. But you see Art just fucking tear across that large foyer to the opposite side. Do you go after him?
Is that in the direction of like the stairs? Like
So
back to-
basically, imagine like you've got like a large room with the steps going up, and you went say on the right side was the library, and then you had the large living room that the old lady was in. He's tearing across to the opposite side, where there's like a large dining room. So yeah, when we went over to see the thing, basically he's running away from where the old lady was, who went into the mirror.
So Roxy's
And-
Roxy goes towards where like the stairs were, where Max was. Sees Art not going that way, and he's just like, Art, fuck, and just runs after Art.
Yeah, so I would say the thing is, like, if you started to go there, like the person on the other side is like, you see the handles being messed with, is like trying to get in too. So you may not spend a lot of time looking at that. But you start running after. Yeah, Art, you end up like hitting the dining room, kind of running into like there's a kitchen off to the side, and then up some steps. Like just sort of running. Roxy, by the time you sort of find him, there's like some servants' quarters that are above the kitchen. That you manage to see him like rush into a room, and like I would say, where do you hide in this the servants' quarters room? Art.
Where do I hide? I think I like close the door, and then I'm just like going to barricade the door with whatever furniture I can find.
So Roxy, if you want to make a fitness roll to see, do you want to get to him before he has it barricaded?
What's my fitness? My fitness is very good.
And unless I don't know if one of your other ones might fit in for that, but
No, I think pretty fit.
yeah, it sounds like that's just out and out running.
Yeah, let's try fitness.
Okay. Well, or your delinquent could work too, running from the cops. This is like that, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's when running from. I think she's running to this time.
well, you're also running away from whatever it is. If you wanted to, you could have used your delinquent. Oh shit! Yeah, basically, like, you get in the door like before he started barricading. Like you get into this room, and you see him grab stuff and start throwing it in front of the door. And as you sort of look around, you realize there's this door doesn't have an outlet to any other place. Though the windows do overlook the roof.
So basically, we're upstairs right now, and so
Yeah, you went up some steps from the kitchen. You can see part of the roof here. Like there's higher parts of the roof as well, but like the window here, if they were to open it, like
You
the
would be
roof
on
is
the
right
roof.
there.
Okay. Yeah, I think Roxy helps barricade.
Okay.
Just to help,
I'm
just
sorry.
to help give Art some peace of mind when it's all barricaded.
I'm sorry, Max.
Max, yes.
Okay. The little kid takes you by the hand and goes across. Kind of like opens up the door and very quickly sort of looks. Goes into the next room. It kind of stops for a moment, and kind of like listens, and then there's a there's like a large like vanity mirror on the thing. Is he actually drops to the ground and crawls in front of the vanity so as not to pass by the mirror.
Max just immediately copies him because children are the wisest people in horror scenarios.
And it goes through that room. It's another bit of a hallway, and through another door, into like there's like a large bathroom that's designed like there's a couple different showers and such in there, and then out through another one, and he's like, shh. She's moving between the house.
Max, like...
She only does that when she's upset.
Okay, Max just kind of nods and stays quiet.
He goes... And you see him once again avoid like a mirror. And he's like, she'll find us through those. We have to be careful. We have to be quiet.
Okay.
And kind of like crawls underneath, and then goes down a small hallway.
Max can't help but whisper, they mostly come at night. Mostly.
He just turns and kind of gives you a weird look, like, what?
It's nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Come on.
And then goes like down some steps that seem to go like between two different parts of the house, but one of like the steps lead like there's sort of a gardener area up there. You can see like there's a small greenhouse that's sort of a part of it. And he looks across, and you can see one of the, like, sort of the houses, the small, like, guest-type houses. And he's sort of looking. He goes, they might be there. That looks like there's a light in the window.
Is there normally a light there?
Only when he's in.
Who's he?
Well, or rather, I'm sorry, only when she's in.
Okay.
And it's kind of clear he's talking about a different person.
Not Veronica?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. What's her part in all this?
She's the center of all this. She's in the room.
You think I can meet her?
Maybe. If you're here, no one else has come here in a long time. She was the last one to come here. And then he kind of opens up and he kicks off his shoes and takes off his socks.
Max follows.
And goes, okay, and then kind of like he bunches up like his kind of his jacket, or there's like coat thing up over his head a little bit. Okay. We go straight for it. Maybe Veronica won't see us.
I'm looking around. Is like there like a mirror or something he's worried about?
There's not one you can see exactly, but you don't know the whole layout.
Okay. So Max
Max
flips up his hoodie and preps.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a really well kept lawn, and it's like you've been like a good lawn when like it's been raining so much that there's like standing water on the grass.
Like a golf course.
I mean, not like that well kept, but I mean even just like you kind of go out and there's just like puddles of water all over the grass because it's
Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gets that way here sometimes if it rains like a lot. So like as you're running, I mean it's almost like you're running across a very 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 shallow pool, like you're kicking up splumes of water as you go, and he's running as quickly as he can straight for that other house.
Yeah, Max is like keeping his eyes deadlocked on the kid and moving basically step for step behind him as possible.
Okay, you're rushing through it.
Yep.
All right. Art and Roxy, you have barricaded the room, and like once you've gotten a whole bunch of stuff, like you've thrown like a bed, there's a dresser, like you grabbed a bunch of stuff and put it in the way, and you're sitting there like your heart's beating, your chests are going like bellows, and you're listening to see if you can kind of hear anything. And it's a little hard because like you're basically your heart is pounding in your ears, but you're listening to see if anything's kind of coming down the hall. It sounds quiet.
I think Roxy puts like hands on like arched shoulders, and it's just okay. We're barricaded in. We should be okay. You good? Yeah, you good? Say you good. Come on.
Art, make a notice check.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you should. There's a moment where you hear like a something down the hall, and like you freeze, and it goes by the door and goes further on.
That was a failure. Oh God. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, calm. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. This isn't that bad. This is not as bad as the time I saw my bandmate get eaten. This is fine.
What the?
Just don't think about it. Calm.
Now thinking
Beaches.
about eating.
Beaches, it's fine.
She's not taking them from me. You hear from behind you. You turn and you look around, and there's a mirror on the back of one of the door that leads to a closet.
Oh fuck!
That you hadn't noticed, Art, before. And the old woman's staring at you from it. You can see behind her. You can see like a bathroom in the actual house.
Ma'am, no one's trying to take anybody for anyone. I just got lost. So I wanted to talk. No one's trying to take anyone. What's going on? Let's just talk about this.
This place is mine. And she steps through the mirror.
Oh god!
And as she kind of hits, and then you see her hand comes out, and she's got a knife in it.
Uh-huh.
And the knife itself already has some blood dripping off of it.
Oh my God.
Oh fuck! Yeah, Roxy is gonna open the bag, immediately grab some cake, and just throw it at her, and just get to the opposite side of the room.
Okay, do me so as you take it and you throw it. Make I think they're probably a struggle roll.
There's special rules for the dick cakes, if I remember.
Oh, is there?
Firearms.
I think it actually firearm. Yeah.
I think if you don't have firearm, let me double check. If you don't have firearm, I think it defaults to. Is it struggle?
No, I think you throw them as a struggle, but they deal dare arm.
It is, I think.
Yep.
Or it's like fitness. I don't know exactly, but I know it does damage like a firearm.
Okay. So roll struggle to hit.
Where's struggle? Oh, great. So my struggle is 20.
Are you fucking kidding? Delinquent doesn't sub for it or anything?
Wait, can I sub delinquent?
Hide, steal, pickpocket. Use knives. Not quite a knife, but she's like 6 feet away from you.
I'm not a hard criminal.
Sure. Yeah, you could use delinquent for that.
Cool. Watch me fail.
Ha! Thank God, a good roll!
Yeah!
Finally, some good fucking rolls.
As you throw it, it's like spot on. Yeah! And then punk, the old woman just gets hit in the face with a pastry that falls to the ground, and she literally just takes a moment, kind of looks down at it, and then looks over at you. What the hell did you throw at me?
My switchblade's out.
You're supposed to be a ghost. You're supposed to disappear or something.
He says, I'm not a ghost here. Everything here is real. This is a little place set aside for me, and all of the ones I brought with me.
Look, we'll go. Just show us the way out. Just will please.
No, what? Hey, did you hurt those nice gentlemen over there?
Kind of looks at you. Nice gentleman. In the house?
Did you hurt someone? Look at your knife.
The sissies who live in the house.
Yeah, I'm rushing her. This is bad, y'all. This is bad.
Yeah, fuck you, lady.
Yeah, this is bad.
It's a different time.
Oh god, no!
this is bad.
Roxy's in the corner of the room, like
Part of me was going like, okay, a woman who died in Arcola in 1983, and then knowing what I know about him, like, sissy's not the word she's used.
Yeah, no, I
the word
appreciate
she would
you not
use.
using the actual word.
Yeah.
The good choice to make.
Yeah.
But here we go, y'all. Let's before I do have an active blessing against harm done to me. For technically all of us, maybe it just applied to me. I did succeed on that roll, but here's my struggle.
Okay.
can you flip at all?
Can you switch it?
Flip. Let's see.
Noble fear, obsession, rage.
My rage, when someone uses their privilege or status to bring someone else down. I mean, kind
She
of.
is using her straight
Yeah, and
privilege.
I would say, like, with the amount of homophobia you've had to have dealt with in your life, I think that kind of counts.
Dope. Okay, now mark rage, and it's flipped. Thank God. Oh my God.
Okay. So, you hit her with a 46. So, are you charging her, slamming into her?
I've got my.
What are you
I
doing?
said I have my switchblade out.
Mhm.
I'm hurting her.
Okay. So, let me. Oh shit. Here, let me look at the. Because we've not had to do much with combat in here.
Yeah, I didn't think this would happen.
Yeah, 'cause
Perfect storm
this
of
is one
things
where it's
happened.
like. Okay, so wounds equal to the sum of the two dice used in the percentage, so 10 points. Does it cleave?
Does a switchblade
It's not-
cleave? I don't.
I think cleave is more, yeah, like cut something in half, which a switchblade really won't. But 10 points is a decent amount to a regular person. Because like a regular person's got like a 50. So as you come and like strike her, and then she stumbles backwards and then falls into the mirror.
Fuck! Damn it!
Yeah, Roxy's kind of hyperventilating in the corner right now.
Yeah, and she's bleeding. She's kind of holding her her stomach where you got her. And,
Oh, she's not all the way in the other side.
No. So she's fallen through the mirror. So she's
can't
in
get-
whatever the in between spot is, because she's not she's not. You can see it on the other side, but it kind of feels like she's in a space in between the actual house and this one.
Yeah. Roxy, get your shit together.
Do I have to roll anything here? Because I have 2 failed violence notches.
What's your violence?
Just like 1, include like the black.
Do I have to roll my
just
violence?
Well, you didn't witness an act of torture. Yeah. What's your violence?
The one.
Yeah,
One.
just the black.
You've hurt someone, but I don't think you at this point you haven't actually been attacked. So,
Oh, I thought
no, you
even enacting violence made you roll against violence.
I think it kind of can. I think right now, like, you've got enough of the
Adrenaline.
stuff going through. I think it's going to be more when someone comes after you. That'll become a problem. Like, because there's not like a back and forth. This is just a quick hit. She goes through.
Okay.
So yeah, that one I don't think you'll need to for that one.
Okay. Okay, Roxy, can you get me through there? Can you get us through there?
Through where?
We need to take care of her.
We can't go through the mirror. You tried, didn't you?
And yeah, she gets up and she's like, the old woman scrambles and then she goes off in one of the directions.
Okay.
Damn
we
it.
Need to get out of here. We need to find Max, and then yeah. Look, I don't care if I have to jump out that fucking window if I have to. We need to get out of this room.
Okay, I probably didn't have time to barricade much.
No, we'll say you two had some time to barricade. Like you got that fucker pretty well
Oh,
barricaded.
fuck.
I mean, you could move it and then run.
You watch the mirror. I'll unbarricade.
But you heard something go by outside that in the hallway as well.
Yeah.
So you don't know if there might be. It's like you made a lot more noise right now, so you don't know if whatever it was out there heard you.
Yeah. Roxy, I don't know how to get back in from here. I think we're gonna have to chance it with the hallway.
Yeah, she's just like, you watch the mirror. I'll do this, and she's just
Got
starts unbarricading.
You started unbarricading.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a delinquent roll to see if you can try to. I'm assuming. Do you want to unbarricade it like kind of quietly so whatever was out there doesn't hear you?
Quickly and quietly, if possible. But if not, if she starts making like any noise, she's gonna be like, "Oh well," and just start tearing it down.
Yeah, I think make it because for delinquent, I could definitely see you trying to like break in or run from the cops or something. You've got to like move something quietly.
Yeah, breaking.
So I'll let you make that as a roll.
Come on, let me fail this roll. Fucking at least once. I want some experience. Yeah.
Okay. And then you hear outside.
Oh fuck. Okay, we may need to use the window.
Okay, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Can we open the window?
Yep.
Open the window. Outside we go.
Okay. Yeah, open the window. It's like the rain is out, so like the sort of the tiles there are slick, but it's not a very steep incline. Do me a favor, both of you make a notice roll.
Great.
Okay.
There's zombies everywhere.
This has been going great so far, so I'm sure this is gonna be a-okay. Ha!
Where's my gnosis?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, if you don't want to, because it's not one of your things. If you don't have to roll it, Art sees it. Art, you look down, and what is something you would definitely recognize on Max?
All of his cameras.
Oh,
Max,
Max, yeah, probably.
He's still got his cameras.
Yeah,
cameras.
Max, Max, while you're running across the yard, like, what are you doing about your cameras and stuff? You just covering them?
Max, I don't think Max actually brought any of his cameras in on this. Or at least he didn't bring like the huge shoulder-mounted ones or anything.
That is hoodie, I guess.
Yeah, he's still got the hoodie on though.
Yeah, you see Max and a young kid like running across the backyard. Like it's a decent drop from where you're at right now, but you definitely can kind of see them. Like where you come out, you're like looking out over the backyard.
Yeah. I'll like turn on my phone flashlight and like wave it at him.
Max, make a notice roll.
Oh great. So do you tell Roxy that they're there?
Yeah, I'm like Max.
The moment he does that, probably even just a pointing will show him. Will point.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out.
I can still sub that for art director.
Ooh, nice.
Or filmmaker.
Yeah, so you look back over your shoulder at one point and you see a flash coming from up above, and you sort of look up, and it's hard to see through the rain, but you can see Art and Roxy are like up on the roof.
I nod to them and I keep running.
Okay, no, we gotta follow them. We gotta follow. How do we get down?
Stopping here is not a good idea.
No, I know. Okay, Roxy, no, we need to get back to the real hotel before she kills them.
We need to follow Art, like with the nice kid. Maybe that's the way out. Maybe.
Listen,
like,
hey, Max was literally the one who said that his magic shit. He's going off on his own, do his magic shit. We have to trust him, right? He's got juice.
you want to go back in the house?
They don't have juice, Roxy. They're gonna die. Some lady's going to pop out of a mirror. She's going to fucking stab them.
But
he can handle himself.
The corridor that we're in was no longer the corridor that we came through. There wasn't a door back there. What if we can't get back?
Roxy, we have to get back. So we will.
We need to find a way to get to get back to the hotel, but that corridor might not work.
Roxy, could you try and do that mirror trick?
You want me to try and run through the mirror?
Not run through the mirror, but like your magic. Don't you have like mirrors, eyes, a star? I don't know. Like, can't you?
Okay.
No, okay. Do we want to follow them? We want to follow them? They're coming like towards the house, right?
No, they're running away from this house.
Yeah, they're running towards one of the small houses in the back.
Or towards one of the guest houses. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said like it's too far of a drop to like jump down safely, probably.
It might be possible to sort of like climb your way down and get there, but it'd be like a fitness roll.
Yeah.
I can try the mirror thing, but like, what if she's there and she just reaches through and like stabs me or something?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, we gotta stick together. Okay. Okay, let's go after them. We can't just sit here. We have to go.
Okay,
Let's go after them. All right. So I guess gonna try and climb down. This is gonna go bad, y'all. Let me see. Do I have anything that subs for fitness? I super don't. Oh, I think I'm actually good on fitness. Oh, I'm okay. Sweet. I'm good at fitness. I'm bad at
19.
dodge.
Fucking Roxy goes to the gym. Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh no!
Oh no!
God, is that like
Wait,
a...
55? 55? Is that right? Oh, it is.
Yeah, even if that wasn't right, we
Yeah.
still know what you rolled. Okay. Yeah. So I will. So remember this one. I keep track of your wounds.
Does my
And,
blessing come into play here? Could I shift? Oh, even if I shifted 20.
Oh, it was. Yeah, that would have shifted 20, 77. Yeah, that made it 77 out of 87, which is still not enough, even if you switch
Yeah.
it. That would be okay. We'll do this. So yeah, Roxy, like, you kind of managed to like grab kind of a bit where there's like some rocky bits on there and like a drain pipe, and you make your way down. And Art, like you tried, but you ended up like falling. Like Roxy, as you're going, there's a moment of absolute panic as he's falling on top of you.
Oh, fuck.
But then actually falls past you. Like there's a moment where you're like, oh fuck, he's gonna. Okay, no, I'm okay. And then sort of smashes into the ground. Like it hurts. Like there's a point in like your back as you sort of hit, kind of bounce your head off of the concrete a little bit. There's a part where you're like, it's hard to take a breath for a moment. You're like, you definitely knocked the wind out of yourself, and you feel like you got hit by a truck. Like it hurts as you hit the ground.
Oof. Do I keep track of damage in this, or do you?
I do. So I now have what your current wound threshold is.
Okay.
Yeah, so you hit the ground and you're just, it takes you a moment. Like Roxy, you're able to run over, and like the rain has
Roxy,
come
like,
down pretty hard.
helps
As he's gasping for breath and kind of finally like takes it in, and just it's that moment like you felt like your lungs had almost deflated and the absolute panic, and then you're like,
Roxy's
you're able to
also
get that
like
air
looking
again.
around.
Okay. There are some doorways that lead into the house onto the ground floor from where you're at. They're in a different spot than where you were earlier.
Okay. But there's no zombies or anything, right?
No, nothing. There's no other people and such you can see right now.
Okay. Can you get up? Can you run?
Yeah, I can. I'll be okay. Just help me up, and let's go.
Okay. This way, and like towards the guest house.
Okay, Max.
Yep.
As the two of you kind of reach towards the guest house, again, you're soaked. By the time you get there, you go up and the kid kind of goes under. And after a moment, the door opens, and the woman who's out there is a fairly severe. I mean, the kind of person that you would see playing either like a the pain in the ass secretary or possibly a Nazi. Like if it's Central Fitness, like she's the person who's in the way of the protagonist.
She is the governess, except like
Yeah, and she sort of looks down at the kid, and then looks at you and actually like has a moment of come in.
Max comes in out of the cold, letting the kid lead the way still.
And as she kind of stands back a little bit, there's like a nice little cozy fire going in the front room. You see like some bookshelves and such. She's got a computer set up in there, a TV. And she's looking at you for a moment. You're new.
So everybody keeps telling me.
I see what you are.
That makes one.
And there's a moment she just kind of waves her hand and suddenly you're dry again.
And
I know what you are.
I'm guessing we're not exactly on the same playing field.
No, not really. You have a marvelous opportunity. She's looking over you. You hide in film and stories that aren't your own. Why don't you have a story of your own?
Because I'm the director. I'm not that interesting.
You're not that interesting. You don't allow yourself to be front and center. Why are you hiding?
Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to hear about the guy behind the camera. They want to hear about the guy who gets the girl. Right now, I've got a pretty sweet pair of protagonists somewhere else.
Sort of smiles. She goes and sits in a chair and then kind of gestures towards another one.
Max is going to take the other chair.
Looks across at you, and goes, "You've lived your entire life seeing yourself as the sidekick at best. What if I were you to offer you an opportunity to be the things you've only watched up till now? To get the girl, to be the kind of person who doesn't just observe but does. The thing you can't be."
I tell you that everything I know tells me that that deal doesn't come without strings.
And at this point, she stands up and goes over and opens a door in the wall. And then beyond it, you see just a plain, absolutely plain room. It looks like there is a casting table, like there's like the table the director and such might sit at that are facing it. Because you've spent your entire life being someone else's plaything. But what if I told you all you have to do is go into this room and you get to walk out of here?
Oh!
Fine.
Sorry.
Max like considers it for a second. Now, can we? Yeah, I know it's against protocol. Can we skip just a little bit of the script and skip to the part where I take a wild stab at who you are?
There's not a script here. There's some things that have to be done before any of this can happen, but I can show you a little bit. But please, tell me who I am.
You're the one that Jacob's been warning me about.
Jacob's been warning you.
You're the opposite of the opposite.
Ah, yes. Your friend. Art and Roxy. You saw him go into the building. Do you go through?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Roxy. You open up the door to this little... You're soaking wet. You open up the door, and in like I said, a small sort of cozy room, there is a woman who, again, looks fairly severe. Hair kind of pulled back, kind of looking directly at you.
Is Max not there?
No one else is there with you.
Fuck.
Yo, we fucked up!
Fucking Roxy looks around and even
It's the hero's trials!
Art's not there either.
Fuck.
What if we made bad choices this session?
No.
No. Listen, you
It's the
stabbed.
hero's journey.
It was all good. It was all correct.
And she looks at you. She's like, Roxy Oz.
Like, just a little bit of the tension leaves because she feels good that someone knows who she is.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And she's like, okay. Where am I?
We have a conversation to have, but there's someone who wants to speak with you first. And she goes and she opens up a door in the side of the room, and you're looking into a dressing room, and kind of sitting there like legs crossed, arms sort of crossed, looking at you almost curiously, is Beyonce.
Fuck.
We're in it now, boys.
Somewhere Max shudders, feeling that there's a guest appearance that didn't get caught on camera.
Yeah. And then Jacqueline just goes, we'll talk, but, well, she gets to pull rank. At which point Beyonce just sort of looks at you, her eyebrow cocks,
She gets to pull rank. That's amazing. Oh,
Queen.
fuck. Roxy's gonna look at the woman and then look at Beyonce. Yeah, she's gonna go through. Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Please.
You go through. The door sort of shuts behind you, and you sit down in a seat across from Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Art.
Uh-huh.
You go into the to the guest house.
Uh-huh.
Okay. As you head in, the secretary is again. She's in there, and she's sort of flipping through a folder. As you come in, and she looks, she's like, "I remember you. I remember what was left of you here."
What the hell are you talking about?
And she kind of flips through. She's like, name. There's so many. Here we are. Henry Rowland. Parts of you were left behind here when he went through.
I like take a few steps towards her. I'm like, undo it now.
She goes, I can't undo it. What I can do is maybe put things right.
What does that mean?
Do you want to take a seat? And she sits down in a chair, in like a fairly like a luxurious, comfy chair.
I like poke the chair.
It's a chair.
I sit down.
She looks across at you. She's like, "Your husband was brought through here. He would have nothing to do with you anymore. He's a different person than he was. He doesn't remember who he used to be. But you've been unable to get over him. You haven't lived the life of a person in grief. You have wallowed in it. You've ruined your life for love of this one man.
I took vows.
Most people don't take them that seriously.
I just look at her.
You can be with him again, but, well, you can't be you.
I see the thing you're doing here. You're with them. I ain't that stupid, lady.
Do you mean the Ordo?
Who the fuck do you think I mean? Of course the Ordo.
No. I am something far beyond the Ordo. I'm the agent of this room. The same Room of Renunciation your husband went through. The Ordo used him. They brought him through to make him theirs.
Why'd you let them?
I offered him something.
You offered what?
I offered him a way. I offered him a way to live in a world where people wouldn't judge him anymore.
Oh, lady.
By becoming part of a mechanical doomsday cult.
Don't you presume to think you know more about my husband than I do.
Oh, I do, though. I know all the things that terrify you, the things you don't like to admit to yourself, because that's my job. That's what I do.
Yeah, and what I do is love. And what I do is stay loyal. And what I do because I am me, and I'm not going to let you fucking do to me what you fucking did to him.
Oh, what we did to him wouldn't work. If you go through, well, you'll have quite a different transformation. Max.
Yep.
Okay. She looks over at you. She's like, your power comes from being the fly on the wall. Wouldn't you want to live more like the protagonist from one of your stories? Don't you want to be something greater than this? And Roxy could move on to become part of the thing that creates the next version of the world. Art's looking for his husband. He's looking for the love that he lost, and you are along for the ride.
Ew. I'm sorry, you just seem to be reading out of my biography at this point. You're...
It's just the back cover. There's not a whole lot to the rest of it. It's mostly about other people.
That's what a director's about.
Think Spielberg doesn't have a story of his own? Kubrick?
But where were they at before their works?
They live lives. They have stories. You're not even making most of this happen. You're just being there while other people do things. I mean, the story of Spielberg creating Duel and then Jaws, the fights he had to take, that could be a film in and of itself. Your film is following around more interesting people.
And yet, even with that, I've still got enough power at my disposal to shape the story.
You can shape the story. Or you could be the story.
You really think that with everything I've seen, I'll take what seems to be a near literal Faustian bargain?
Here's the thing, it doesn't cost you anything but getting rid of what's holding you back.
Cost me myself.
What was the thing that made you give up on being interesting?
Max just kind of looks away for a minute. That's really not important.
Roxy.
Yep.
So Beyonce looks you over a bit. She goes, "Oh, someone's starting to set the world on fire." What's your percentage, by the way, in the
86.
star? 86.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "It won't be too long now before you might be coming gunning for me," is my guess.
I guess it has to be that way, doesn't it?
Kind of laughs. She's like, "I came gunning for someone before me."
Who was it,
You know
by the way?
difference? She just sort of smiles and goes, "Number of people it could have been. All you got to know is right now, well, one of them's up in the invisible clergy, and another one's not around anymore. He had some problems with kids."
Okay.
But you know the difference between you and me? The thing that would make it that you would not last particularly long where I'm at, and you and I could actually be friends as opposed to enemies?
Hmm.
You're fake. And the problem being the spotlight all the time, they will find it. And they will tear you down. Because you want the spotlight. And you worked hard for it. You've done a lot. But eventually, you get all that attention, just leaves you wanting more. Someone to see who you really are, you don't have a lot there.
She's literally about to say, "Do you know who I am?" But knows it's fucking Beyonce in front of her, so she just stops and just says, "You don't know me."
Don't I? She then tells you the story. Like what is someone who you hurt being a fake
I hurt
When you
being
were-
a fake.
when you were younger?
It's probably like it probably started like very early. Like she learned how to lie, like as a little kid, and like she like passed the blame around and things like that, and it escalated a little bit in high school.
Yeah, she's like, remember you spread some rumors that was it Tracy Dunham, that she'd slept with a guy, slept with a couple guys. Is that the kind of thing Roxy might have said to someone who had gotten on the wrong side of her?
Yeah. She's like biting her
Yeah.
lower lip real hard right now.
She goes, "Do you remember how she moved? Do you know why she moved? Because the amount of, well, nude shots she had sent and some other ones people got a hold of went around the school, they went around a lot of other people with the bullying, all the other stuff, the threats and such that she was giving, the undue attention. Her parents moved to get her the hell away from that place. She never knew who actually did that.
That is...
And my guess is right now you don't like being pointed out at you, but I don't think you're terribly sorry for what happened.
Oh, so like, yeah, like, I love the idea that she goes to say something and then, like, Beyonce just keeps talking matter-of-factly, like, no, I'm the star here, you're the one who has to, like, wait for me. And, like, even she's like, fuck, it's Beyonce, yeah, I have to stop talking, even though she wouldn't normally. So then she just waits and just says, that isn't me anymore.
Isn't it? You ran from the police, you broke into things, you did all these things to have that bad girl image, but you're not very good at it because you knew that you didn't have to be that for a particularly long time because people would protect you. I'm not saying you're a bad person, I'm just saying you don't have what it takes to stand up in the spotlight of the world. You do, however, have what it takes to come close.
Yeah, she just sort of,
And I think we could be better friends than enemies.
she just watches, like, silently for a little while and just says, what does that mean?
That means... This is what sucks about being the Godwalker. You're this close. You're this close to being there, but there's a couple things. You go there, you leave behind everything else. You have to become a legend. And Kurt did that. But, well, he went out kind of ugly. But you have to become the kind of thing that defines a generation. And I could do that. But there's a whole lot of life that's still worth living, and frankly, I wouldn't mind staying that way, but there's also a lot of other people, well, particularly with us. I mean, if we were some of the other ones, if we were the necessary servant, if we were the shaman, if we were a number, like, we wouldn't be coming, but we want the spotlight. We want to be noticed. And the only way to be noticed is to be greater than the person next to you. Now I can help bring you up. I help bring you pretty close. Because I think that I like what I see inside of you. You did some amazing shit. You got to play the Coliseum. And I had people look into it. You've been campaigning to do that. What? She kind of like pulls up her phone for a second and flips through. And she like starts naming off the last couple Bo Hick in the middle of fucking nowhere places. Before Denver. It's like you played in all these just bumfuck middle of nowhere towns. Then you played at a small club in Denver. Next time you show up, it's in Rome at a restaurant. And then the Coliseum. You hustle like a motherfucker. And I think you've got some spine to you. I like that.
So, what are you saying? Like, I'll be a backup singer or something?
No. What, backup singer? Who the fuck notices the backup singer? Do you remember what TV show one of my backup singers was on? Nope, she was on Glee. And she used to dance live concerts. She wasn't in the video. Can you tell me her name? What character she played?
Yeah, right. She's just silent.
Best most people can tell you is she was the dumb one. She didn't have what it took. Backup singers, nobody notices the backup singers. Not until they go solo. However, I have friends who are very successful. Bruno's not one of us, but he's been doing very well. As a matter of fact, he's going to get a Grammy this year.
So I'll be one of them.
What do you mean one of them? A star? An ally?
Not quite. I'll be. See, there's always this thing when I was young and talking to my friends about all the best singers and musicians that we loved. That we always like get hype over one singer, and then we'd be like, "Oh yeah, but they're not as good as this one." I would be the one that people talk about, and then people would be like, "Yeah, they're great, but they're not as good as Beyonce." That's what you're saying
smiles,
right
she's
here.
like, she smiles. She's like, "Honey, that's true of everybody." Art.
I have a quick Beyonce breaking news. Breaking news. Hashtag who bit Beyonce. Someone bit Beyonce's face the night they took a selfie. Sorry, just had to get that out.
Holy shit!
It was Roxy.
Literally, Twitter trend. Hashtag who bit Beyonce.
The fuck?
Now we know. She bit Beyonce.
Have any of you read The Invisibles?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Or the background behind it?
Invisibles. Oh no.
It's a comic series by Grant Morrison, and the Matrix stole a lot from it, but turned all the magic into technology. But one of the things he was doing was he said that like he kind of put it out there as a magic spell, as a chaos magic, and he found out whatever happened to his main character started happening to him, because his main character actually looks like him. And he goes, so he actually turned things around between the first and second series, so things were going well for the main character, and his life apparently turned around. Like, basically, he was saying that like what happened in his life started happening, or what happened in the comics started happening in his life. It's super good. It'll twist your mind. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
apparently it was an actress.
So I'm just wondering, have we somehow fucked with going after Beyonce? Have we somehow fucked with the fabric of time and space?
I mean, why do you think I'm playing the director?
Beautiful.
It was just a matter of finding someone to run an unknown Armies game for me.
Finally, we'll take down Beyonce.
One bite at a
Why would you want to go
time.
after Beyonce? Why not?
Oh my god. Anyway.
It was just time.
Look, I wanted to target Putin, but you people started talking about Beyonce. I'm gonna take what I can get.
So, Art.
Yeah.
She goes, you could be with your husband again, but you'd be a little different.
I don't want different. I had what I wanted. And ain't fair. Ain't fair to ask me for something different. You know that.
One of the things most people don't know about the Rooms of Renunciation is you can see a little bit of the future you'll be going into. We don't offer it to everybody. But would you like a taste?
No.
Just to see.
I have seen my husband asleep next to me. I have seen him smile. I have seen him cry. I have seen what I need to see. And I want it back. I didn't ask to be a part of this world. I was dragged into it. I deserve what I had. I don't deserve something different.
She goes over and sort of towards a mirror. And as she touches it, it starts to ripple. Do you want to see him right now?
No. I look away.
She's very pretty. The woman sleeping beside him. He doesn't love her.
Art's like laughing. Lady,
Not because...
lady, I survived Regan. I'll survive you. You ain't getting through to me like this.
Reagan?
Buddy, do you not know about Regan and, like, how he's responsible for, like, the AIDS breakout in the LGBT community, buddy?
Oh, Reagan.
Reagan.
You said Regan. You said Regan.
Oh,
and I got
sorry.
confused.
I heard
Like,
Reagan, and my thing is
Sorry,
like,
Ronald
Ronald
Reagan.
Hart.
because I work with a woman whose last name is Regan.
Oh, sorry, no.
And so I was
Reagan,
like,
Sorry.
the fuck?
Sorry. I survived Reagan,
Yeah.
I'll survive you.
She goes, but the only way you can be with your husband again is, well, not as a man. And we can give that to you.
That is an
She
option.
goes,
You're really fucked up,
She-
lady.
Holy
You're really
shit.
fucked up.
and she opens up a door.
I'm
It
I'm
goes
like
into the
purposefully
room.
not looking anywhere near her.
Yeah. And she goes, I'll be in here. By the way, there's two ways of getting back to, well, there's two ways of leaving. One, to destroy this other space, you'd have to kill Veronica. She's actually managed to make it quite powerful with the sacrifices she's given it over the years. But that will take you back to the real world. The other way is to open up the door I'm about to pass through. Come through. And see what life is like on the other side.
How do I destroy this place? This world
Told
she's
you.
built.
All you have to do is kill her, and then closes the door, leaving you alone in the room. Make if you're gonna try to not look at the thing, make a helplessness roll. Just to stop yourself from just
Yeah.
even glancing.
Can I leave in isolation, maybe?
I don't know if helplessness or maybe self. I think self might be the right one because it'd be very hard not to.
Yeah. So I've got resist shock to self. So
Okay.
do I add like a shift?
No, you roll that.
That
instead,
means
I think.
you can use that instead.
Oh, I can use that instead. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Self defend with notice. My notice is a 45, which is actually 1 degree higher than my former socialite. So I guess I'll just roll that. So I click unnatural versus self. Right? Yeah, well.
Well, you rolled fitness.
You can't help yourself, and as you look, you actually don't see your husband. Instead, you see standing in there, very well dressed, a man who is essentially the. Because I don't think you weren't the one that saw him. You were the one that saw Jacob, right?
Huh?
No, the only
you were
person
the
who
one who saw.
No, that was Max, and Max has seen Jacob as an entirety, and Roxy got a glimpse.
Okay, yeah. So you see a man who basically looks like the male version of Jacqueline, who went into the other room. He's looking out at you. She's wrong, you know. There's another room that if you take your husband through will reverse what's happened here.
I really want to trust you.
He sort of smiles. She's like, for every room, there is its opposite.
Where can I find it?
We're in Helsinki, but the thing is, the key to this room will also open its other.
Oh, God.
But to get the key, you have to pass. Well, you don't have to go actually through the room. But you need the key to the room.
This doesn't make sense.
Jacqueline has the key. You can't take it from her, but she may give it to you.
If you don't want to do this, Max has an idea.
If this were like in anime, we'd get like the flashback to like the anime trip or to the trip when Sapphire Tree was like, "Don't accept any gifts" or something along those lines, and Art just like nods. It's like, I'll keep that in mind. In the meantime, I have to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Max.
Huh.
So at that point, she sort of stands up and goes, "There's two ways to leave. One, kill Veronica. Destroy this other space. Or two, come through here and see what it's like living the story instead of recording it." And then she opens up the door to the room with like the director thing. Looks back at you. Take some time. Talk to your friends. And then she shuts the door and walks through it. Well, she shuts the door and then is in that room. Roxy.
Hello.
So Beyonce kind of looks over. She's like, think about it a little bit. Maybe see what it's like where I'm at. I think, I don't know if it's you she told, but it's possible for Jacqueline to show you before you make your choice in the room. See if it works out for you. You can go now.
Think
about my
Is the door still there to like go back through?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, Roxy gets up, turns to the door, and then waits a moment, and then just turns back a little, and just says, "If you know everything about me, you know I'm very stubborn," and then just walks through the door.
You see her smile as you say that? She's like, "Wouldn't watch you any other way." My name's in your phone, by the way.
Oh my god! You fucker.
So yeah, she opens the door and closes it behind her.
Do you check to see if her name's in your phone?
No.
I was like, well, you'll find out later. It's not under Beyonce, it's under Queen.
Queen, yeah.
Like for Persona.
Yeah. At this point, the three of you are now standing in the room together for the first time.
We need to kill Veronica.
Max just kind of
as you start to talk, I'm going to refill my drink real quick.
Yeah, Max just kind of brushes the hair out of his face and goes, "Okay, I'm going to assume that everybody got the standard deal with the devil talk."
I mean, shitty deal. Like, oh, everything will be okay. You just have to be fucking straight or some shit. Like, come on, please.
No, that's about right for you.
Yeah, but like, bullshit. Also,
like, the you right now thinks that's bullshit. Because it's the exact opposite of what you are.
Yeah, no, I get it. But, like, you can't tempt... Like, it was a bad temptation. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It was a bad temptation. It tempted for me something that the me that I am now hates.
Well, it's not the Garden of Eden. It's not meant to tempt you. It's meant to warp you, shift you.
Yeah, well...
What'd you get,
We'll have to
Roxy?
do more than that. So you told us about Jacob, right? Or no?
Yeah. I mentioned to you the other's other. Or, like, there is another room that reverses
no, like,
things.
I think I met the guy you were talking about. You said there was an opposite to this room?
Yeah.
Named Jacob in Helsinki?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, he said Jacqueline has the key, that her key... We can't take it from her, but she might give it, and that it would unlock his room. But here's the thing. Sapphire, before she cut out in the vision, she said not to take any gifts. And I trust her more than I trust some random fucker in a magic ghost space.
Max kind of, like, straightens up, like, brushes himself off, and looks at Art and goes, "She told you not to accept any gifts."
Max, we don't know if it was single or plural.
Spoken dialogue is as it is. Like, Max kind of eyes the other door.
No, Max, no. What'd she offer you?
The opposite of being the director.
Being a producer?
Being the sound guy, like.
You got the boom mic.
She offered to make me the main character.
CGI.
Is that what you want, Max?
Do I want it?
Is that what you want?
No. The me as I am would never want that. But I'm the director. It doesn't really matter what I want.
Yeah, it does. No, that's bullshit. That's not how it works, buddy. Even for you, that's not how it works.
We need the key.
No, we don't. I trust Sapphire. There's got to be another way.
I don't think there is. This is like Max kind of like throws his arms out. This is it. This is the third act. Everything starts moving from here.
Listen, can we? While we're waiting here, Veronica's going to murder them. That's a fact. She had blood on her knife. She spoke up. She's. You don't know hate like this. You can't know hate like this.
The kids will be fine.
The kids might be fine, but I'm talking about the guys running the hotel.
And what, you're willing to murder what's probably just a magically destroyed old woman to do so?
Those kids didn't like her. She had blood on her knife. She's going to murder them. And protect my own.
We need better. We can't do it with what we have.
I stabbed her. I stabbed her.
Congratulations, she can disappear into fucking mirrors. She's on a level that I can't touch.
And you won't be able to touch it if you go through there because you won't have your juice. You'll be the opposite of a guy in a hoodie who looks at the camera the thing to get juice, which will be a guy in not a hoodie and you don't get juice.
No, I'd be the opposite of the director. I'd be the main character. I'd have all the power we'd need. And probably even more.
You don't want to do this. And this isn't... Roxy, come on. Say something, right? This is bullshit.
Roxy has just been silently contemplating for a little while. Is Michael back?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Is the door to the outside where it's raining still there?
Yep.
If she goes over to it, does it open?
Yep.
She's going to just open it and stand by it and then just look at the other two. I haven't actually spoken to this person yet. I'd like to do that.
Then who'd you talk to?
I spoke to Queen Bee.
Max just kind of screws up his face trying to figure out how Beyonce got into a parallel dimension, other space.
Roxy,
slowly dismisses it.
Roxy, this lady's bad news.
Oh, I know.
Look, there's never been a story about a musician selling their soul that goes well.
I don't plan on selling my soul. I just said I wanted to talk to them.
Fine. Fine. There's got to be a way we can try this together. Max walks over to the exit. Maybe if we re-enter, at least those of us who still have some kind of intention, we can call her again.
Roxy, you're fine the way you are. You hear me?
She just looks at Art for a second and it just says, Yeah, I think I am.
You are. Please don't go through there.
Love you just
Max.
the way you are.
And Yeah, just like looks in your eyes, like please don't go through there, and then goes to join Max at the exit.
Well, no, she is at the exit. Like, we're...
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
like,
at the exit.
she's basically just like holding the door open for them
Right,
to walk through.
right. I'm not gonna stop you, but god damn, don't go through that door, Roxy.
See? You two are fine. You'll be fine.
Max, no, none of us. You trust this lady in this weird, evil ghost dimension where there's zombies and kidnapped children. You trust her. Why the fuck would you trust her?
Max kind of shrugs. Better than where I am.
You trust her more than you trust me.
I mean, what use am I right now?
What use am I? Do you remember in Italy? You saved your asses from the police. You can do things.
And I could do so much more. Like, that's it. When I'm only useful when I can do
Max,
the magic.
Where does this end, Max? Where does it end?
When the credits
This
roll.
doesn't. Max.
It ends. It ends with...
That actually seems like not a bad place to end for this evening.
Where the credits roll. Fucking credits. Fuck.
So, because what I'm thinking of for next time is I would like to probably IM you some questions about some stuff that will sort of determine what happens next. And again, it's one of those where, like, if it seems like it might have Roxy and Max going through but aren't doing something in the haunted house, that's totally cool, and I actually know how to make that work. So it's not something where everyone has to go one way.
I don't know about Roxy, but I think Max, like, with the knowledge of this key and everything, is going to tear into the room.
Gonna rip into the room.
Partially because this is basically every way he can be useful starting right now, and B, he's a director who's been offered 2 options by a producer, and by goddamn, he's going to take the third one.
Well, cool. That seems like a good place if you want to make the check any rolls for stuff that you failed.
I fail never.
D5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think Max rolled too much this time, did he?
I rolled a lot, but it was only art director. It was filmmaker, which is
And
high enough that it doesn't fail often.
Okay, fine. It's fine.
Inching forward. Inching forward.
Oh, boy.
The fucking roll I never make. Fucking passed twice. That was great.
Like, I should fit. Nope. Nope. Gonna do well again there.
All right. Good session, y'all.
That was really fucking cool.
That was really cool.
I was into that so much.
To be gay and angry feels really nice. So cathartic.
And I'm going to send you some questions because I think I'm going to use those to seed some stuff and also think what you're thinking. Because what I want to do is, because it's one of those things where I was thinking that maybe it would end with this decision and then between now and then, or at least meeting Jacqueline. But the way things are going, I'm like, no, fuck, you're going to get there earlier than I would have thought. So let's just go with it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I want to tie that into the characters more.
Yeah.
And then if Art's not going to go that way and you're doing stuff in the house, that's 100% awesome.
Yeah, like really, there's literally 0% chance he's going through that door.
Cool. Then I will have stuff for you in the house and stuff that will be cool.
I don't think Roxy's going to go through that door.
Kind of examining how Max thinks and how everything works, he doesn't really have any form of, like, pride he isn't willing to toss away. And, like, examining all his actions, he's only been useful when he's done magic. And that's only for helping everybody else.
Well, I was talking with someone about the game, and I'm like, we have one person that wants to, like it may come down to a fight with Beyonce, and we have someone who's trying to get his husband back from this cannibal billionaires who took him through a room that changes everything about who he was. And I go, and I think the player for the Cinemancer just wants to be able to do awesome things with the magic. like it seems like I don't know if that's what you want for the character.
Like,
because it seems like that's been his like one of the things you seem to have really loved doing.
like, I love being able to just toss the magic around and completely affect the situation, but Max does not have, like, any overarching goal. He's just this weird, drifting college student who's busy
you wanted
filming
to go to
everything.
that crazy library or something?
Yeah, but we haven't, like, seeded anything on that, and he has, like, no leads whatsoever. But right now, he's seeing this weird magical opportunity to interact with not one, but 2 rooms of requirement. And become maybe...
No, the rooms of requirement are in Harry Potter. This is the rooms of renunciation.
That's it. The 2 rooms of renunciation. And he might become the only human being to willingly walk through both of renunciation.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's his... Jesus.
You gotta eat the burger. You gotta eat the fucking enchanted burger.
Well, I can't not eat it.
It's magic. Something's gonna happen.
Fucking gotta go. Oh, fuck.
My brain is split because in my head, there are 3 options. He either comes out as a mundane with just incredibly high combat identities and like social skills.
You come out as like Tom Cruise or something.
Yeah.
Like
It makes me want to rewatch Last Action Hero.
Oh my
Or,
god, yeah.
Like, on the other hand, he walks out of there with like an 80 identity in like the hero.
oh, Jesus. Yeah, good thing we have time to figure this out.
Yep.
Or whatever the DM has planned that's infinitely better or worse.
Oh no! Remember, I am for the most part laying the track just slightly ahead of where you're going. It's like in Wallace and Gromit,
Yeah.
where he goes by,
Yeah.
grabs him. I'm like, I have some inciting incidents, but it helps at having done many years of improv in front of audiences helps. But my whole thing is, if I have plans that are too concrete, I get bored.
I might want to talk with you a lot because I'm working on like this long form Magical Girl campaign, and I'd love some opinions on some of the twists and turns and nonsensical pieces.
Yeah, so my usual thing often comes if I always think if you're planning more than about a session ahead of concrete stuff, there's a tendency to want to push towards that as opposed to letting yourself be surprised.
All I really have is like 7 weird boss fights, and even those aren't concrete. But they're like the linchpins, or like the turning points.
So it's like Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. There are 7 evil magical girls to take out, and then that's the story.
I'm her first evil boyfriend.
Oh my god, I love that movie. Alrighty.
That's the movie that reminded me I'm in love with Anna Kendrick.
I'm right, she's in that movie!
Oh. The moment I saw her in a commercial, I'm like, she looks kind of familiar. I can't place her, but I do love her.
Yeah, she does such a good job in that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about what's her name? What's the fucking like sister who does like the she goes to swear but it like cancels out?
Oh, that's
Well, that's not the sister. That's
that would be
Stacey.
Julie.
Julie.
Who's the actress? Because she's
Oh.
the best looking actress of all time.
Wait, that's in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lady who works like every job and like has her swears bleeped out.
Because she's the only NPC.
Yeah, she's like the stock NPC.
Works at the coffee bar, hosts every party. The character
It's
thing.
been so long as I've seen Scott
played by
Pilgrim, I
Aubrey
don't
Plaza.
remember
Aubrey
the character.
Plaza, that's it.
Oh, she's
She's
amazing.
the best.
Oh my god, have you seen Legion?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you gotta see Legion. Second of all, if you like Aubrey Plaza, there's basically a silent movie episode
Yeah, when she's fucking
where
dancing
she's
around.
incredible and
Yeah.
sexy as fuck. Like, she's terrifying, but she's also sexy as fuck in that episode. And it's also like, even if the rest of the Legion sucked, which it absurdly doesn't, that's the kind of thing where you show an actor that script and they go, I don't care about the rest of it. Fuck yes, I want to do this.
I was half
Legion's great.
I was half convinced that Mir was going to show Art, his female self, sleeping next to his husband.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was going to be at first.
I considered it a little bit, but you were so against that idea. I'm like since he's so against seeing that, that no, I don't think it would show that. And then I was like, but we can offer another carrot.
Yeah, yeah.
And it makes sense that the room doesn't tempt you to do, like, the room doesn't give you something you want. It gives you the opposite of what you are. So unless you have something that you believe is wrong with yourself, you won't want
which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
However,
yeah, I think if
Roxy
if Art was like a slightly different character, or like younger, maybe. But like he's had a lot of time to figure out what he's about, and he knows what he's about.
Roxy and Art are kind of like firmly locked in their identities, whereas Max is incredibly fluid and unsure at all given
College!
times.
Like even like, as you are the director, like that identity is so grounded in like millions of identities, so it's just like you can't be like that grounded in one thing.
Yeah, it's so murky.
Yeah.
Vague.
And she's offering me something on parallel with the fact that, or at least on level with the fact that Roxy could ascend. I have to be a main character capable of keeping or taking the stage from that.
Next session is going to be fire, y'all.
Should be awesome. I said I will probably privately IM you some questions.
Yep.
That will be. So I'll be playing with some stuff.
All I remember about the... okay, wait. No, that'll be fun.